After directing Easy Rider, Peter Fonda made The Hired Hand, a laid-back western. He immediately went on to Idaho Transfer, a science fiction movie. It captures the feel of the new wave science fiction being written at the time. J.G. Ballard, Harlan Ellison, Brian Aldiss. It's not about aliens invading or spaceships or explosions, but the environment and how the government would take over any scientific work it decides it must control. George Braden is a scientist whose lab was researching matter transportation when they stumbled onto something else: time travel. They find that civilization will soon be destroyed. The scientists decide to send people 56 years into the future to start civilization over. The problem is that time travel messes with the human body. Anyone older than 20 begins hemorrhaging and soon dies. I like that detail, that you don't just flip a button and send someone through time and everything's fine. The solution is to use people under 20. There's another allegory about Vietnam: older authority figures sending young people off to do the dirty work. Though in this case, it's not to kill, but to bring life back to a devastated world. Braden has two subjects he wants to use: his daughters, Karen and Isa. Karen is just out of a mental hospital, and you wonder if that's going to impact the project. Spoiler, it does! And spoilers. The actors are mostly amateurs, and it shows. But their very inexperience adds to the feel of innocence being sent on an important mission they are unprepared for. The post-disaster future is depicted with location work in some national parks chosen for their desolation. The few relics of the past are abandoned cars and a train, and we watch as these colonists start to suffer from their journey, flawed tech, and maybe insanity. The lab is simple, maybe laughably so compared to modern art direction, but I like this cheap analog equipment with the power to send people through space and time. The movie feels burned out, like the world of the future it depicts. Idaho is a sour movie about how humans spoil the environment, and then when they try to repair the damage, they screw it up in another way. Idaho has a curious ending that seems like an outtake from The Man Who Fell to Earth, but it makes sense, showing the next step down in how humans will deal with living in a devastated environment. Bruce Langhorne, who also scored The Hired Hand, wrote and performed the minimal music. He uses piano and keyboard and lets the movie breathe. The scenes of the time travelers out in the open are mostly left unscored, reminding us of how barren and empty this future is. But it feels more realistic, more believable, that this is what the future could be like. If you can stick with it, you'll see a more thoughtful, effects-free story of time travel and the dangers we invite when we try to outrun human civilization's mistakes. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to vote. Unless you're voting for the person I'm not voting for, then you should stay home and watch movies.